As the elders in Nigeria often say, he who goes to court with unclean hands will come back empty-handed, a timeless reminder that procedural flaws can derail even the most earnest pleas for justice. This is in accordance to Justice Omotosho's decision as the news is flying around surrounding Nnamdi Kanu. On confirmed street news, now waiting we hear with a report, but be sure say, na confirm. This proverb echoes loudly in the latest chapter of Nnamdi Kanu's protracted legal saga, where a federal high court in Abuja has struck out his ex parte motion seeking a transfer from the Sokoto Correctional Facility to another location closer to the capital. The ruling, delivered on January 27, 2026, represents a significant setback for the convicted leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, highlighting the stringent demands of legal process amid ongoing debates about fairness in high-profile cases tied to national security. The decision unfolded during a court session presided over by Justice James Kolawole Omotosho. Kanu, through his counsel from the Legal Aid Council, had filed the motion requesting relocation to a facility such as Suleja or Kefi, ostensibly to ease access for consultations and court appearances. However, the proceedings took an unexpected turn when his lawyer, Demdoo Asan, a senior legal officer, applied to withdraw from the case, citing irreconcilable differences. Asan explained that since the last adjournment on December 8, 2025, he had been in regular contact with Kanu's relatives via telephone, but they repeatedly failed to appear at his office to provide necessary depositions despite assurances. Compounding the issue, Kanu himself attempted to direct the counsel's courtroom statements, insisting on scripting what should be said, a demand Asan rejected as incompatible with his professional obligations as an officer of the court. After consulting with superiors at the Legal Aid Council, who affirmed the need for independent handling of the matter, Asan invoked Order 50, Rule 1 of the Federal High Court Rules to formally step aside. Justice Omotosho, in his ruling, praised Asan for maintaining the court's dignity and granted permission for both the council and the Legal Aid Council to withdraw. Turning to the motion itself, the judge deemed it incompetent due to the absence of proof that it had been served on the relevant parties since the prior hearing in December 2025. In the interest of justice and fairness, the court directed that any future applications must properly notify other involved parties. As a result, the ex parte motion was struck out, leaving Kanu to remain at the Sokoto Correctional Facility for the time being, with no immediate change in his detention conditions. If you're following the intricate legal battles shaping Nigeria's approach to separatism and security, and want to stay informed on how these cases impact broader society, please hit that like button right now. Drop a comment sharing your views on judicial processes in such matters, and subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss an update in this ongoing story. To appreciate the significance of this ruling, we must step back into the broader context of Nnamdi Kanu's case and its place within Nigeria's complex security landscape. Kanu, as the founder and leader of IPOB, has been a central figure in the push for Biafran independence since the group's formation, advocating for self-determination in the southeast through protests, media campaigns, and international lobbying. His activities led to his initial arrest in 2015 on charges including treasonable felony, followed by a dramatic escape and rearrest in Kenya in 2021, after which he was repatriated to Nigeria. The trial culminated in his conviction on terrorism-related charges in November 2025, resulting in a life imprisonment sentence, a verdict that intensified debates over freedom of expression, ethnic tensions, and the government's handling of separatist movements. The Sokoto facility, located far from Abuja where his legal proceedings are centered, has been cited by his supporters as a deliberate hardship, complicating family visits, legal preparations, and health monitoring. This motion for transfer was part of ongoing efforts to address such logistical challenges, but its failure underscores the procedural hurdles defendants face in sensitive national security cases where courts prioritize strict adherence to rules to ensure all sides are heard. Key actions in the courtroom included Asan's detailed account of the breakdowns in communication and cooperation, which the judge accepted as grounds for withdrawal without contest. Justice Omotosho's commendation of the counsel emphasized the importance of professional integrity, while his insistence on proper service and notice to parties reflected a commitment to equitable proceedings. Kanu's attempts to influence the case's presentation, as described, highlight the tensions that can arise between defendants and assigned legal aid in high-stakes matters, where personal stakes run deep. The consequences of this decision ripple across political, social, economic, and security domains. Politically, it reinforces the judiciary's role as a gatekeeper in cases involving alleged threats to national unity, potentially signaling to other separatist figures that procedural lapses will not be overlooked. For Kanu and IPOB, the setback prolongs his isolation in Sokoto, which could fuel narratives of injustice among supporters and complicate any appeals or related litigation. Socially, it deepens divisions in the southeast, where Kanu's detention has become a rallying point for grievances over marginalization, possibly sustaining sit-at-home protests and community unrest that disrupt daily life. Economically, such instability hampers trade, investment, and productivity in the region as fears of violence deter business and tourism. On the security front, maintaining Kanu in a distant facility may be seen by authorities as a measure to limit his influence, but it risks escalating tensions if perceived as punitive, potentially leading to heightened activities from IPOB factions or sympathetic groups. Public reactions, though not yet fully crystallized in the immediate aftermath, are likely to polarize along familiar lines. Supporters of Kanu and IPOB may view the striking out as evidence of a biased system designed to suppress dissent, amplifying calls for his release and international intervention. Conversely, those prioritizing national cohesion might see it as a rightful application of the law, ensuring that even prominent defendants follow due process without shortcuts. This split mirrors broader societal debates in Nigeria, where ethnic loyalties often intersect with perceptions of federal overreach. Looking ahead, Kanu could refile the motion or pursue a fresh application, this time ensuring compliance with service requirements and possibly engaging new counsel to avoid similar conflicts. The court's directive for notifying other parties sets the stage for more contested hearings where the government might argue against the transfer on security grounds. If procedural issues persist, it could delay resolutions in his broader appeals against the conviction, prolonging uncertainty. On a wider scale, this ruling might prompt reviews of legal aid protocols in terrorism cases, aiming to better balance defendant rights with counsel autonomy. Ultimately, the path forward hinges on whether Kanu's team can navigate these legal intricacies effectively, potentially influencing the tone of separatist discourse in the Southeast for months to come. As we close this examination of a pivotal moment in one of Nigeria's most watched legal dramas, it underscores the enduring tension between individual rights and national imperatives. If this narrative has you reflecting on justice and unity in our diverse nation, show your support, give it a like, share your thoughts in the comments about the role of procedure in high-profile trials, and subscribe for more comprehensive breakdowns of stories that define our times. On Confirm Street News, na wetin we hear with the report, but be sure say, na confirm. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay thoughtful, and we'll bring you the next developments as they arise. Take care.